What's going on, guys? It's Kai back here with another video, and today I want to talk about the Blazers' past 3 games, because the first 3 games in which Norman Powell played, we played 3 really bad teams, beat them all, and I think everyone knows that the Blazers consistently beat the teams that they should beat. I'm not going to dispute that. I think the evidence backs that up. But the problem comes when we play these good teams, and these are the teams we're going to be seeing in the playoffs. So I don't want to hear no excuses like they're better than us, when in reality we have one of the more well-rounded rosters in the entire league. We got great scorers, we got great defensive players, and we still can't seem to ever beat these good teams, it feels like. I mean, our record against positive 500 teams is like 11-14 with a negative 200 point differential. Yeah, 200 points, which is just so bad. I think it's ironic and funny because I wasn't even going to make this video today talking about what I want to talk about, because I wanted to talk about how we have minutes problems among our wings and that Stotts can't figure out what wings to go with. Carmelo has been pretty bad the past month or so, but you know he's going to get those minutes no matter what, and I think that's one of our integral problems, is that we have things made up before the game start. Nasir Little, for example, yesterday came into the game in the second quarter and was awesome, and then gets pulled after 4 minutes for Carmelo Anthony. I think he went 4 for 5, and he plays great defense, he has great effort, and Stotts doesn't reward it ever, and it's really frustrating. Another guy that doesn't get enough minutes, and it really frustrates me on the coaching part, is Derrick Jones. I mean, he's easily our best matchup for any good wing in the West. I mean, who else is our best matchup? Robert Covington? He's not laterally quick. He's like 6'8". Derrick Jones is a tremendous defender. So yesterday when Stotts was asked about potentially putting Jones back in the lineup for Norman, not that I'm suggesting they should do that, but Jones should easily be getting more minutes. But they asked him about whether or not they should replace Jones from Norman again to get some defense going, because we gave up a ton of points the past few games. And Stotts basically said we were the 29th defense ranked without or with him, and we are the 29th defense ranked without him in the starting lineup. So it doesn't matter, is what he said basically. It doesn't matter our personnel, who we put out there, because our schemes suck every game and we're going to give up a bunch of points no matter what. So it doesn't matter, and he admits to that. So it's really great we're on the same page with that. So that was me rambling a little bit off the top of my head, but without further ado, let's get into this first game against the Milwaukee Bucks. In the Bucks game, similar to many other games, it just appeared where we had 2 quarters in which we had no energy, didn't really play any defense, didn't really make any shots, everything was stagnant, and you wonder why we lose both those quarters by a bunch of points. I think this game was a great indicator of how piss poor our defense really is. I mean, Giannis had 47 points on 4 missed shots? I mean, how do you expect to ever win a game and when a guy shoots like 80%, almost 50 points? I understand how hard it is to stop Giannis, but a lot of the time, we were having Nurkic guard him. And that's just so weird to me, that our best thought process of guarding Giannis is to stick Nurkic in the paint and make Giannis drive at him and try to make him miss. Giannis was hitting jump shots this game. He was hitting pull-ups. He was hitting whatever he wanted because we didn't make him do anything that he was uncomfortable with. And that's just a common theme in the Stotts defensive era. And it's just unfortunate to see and expect this to happen every time we play one of the best teams in the NBA. Now, the next game we played was against the Thunder, and we just spanked the hell out of them. We won by 48 points. But I don't want people to get too overreacted to this, because I'm going to read off the starting lineup for this game. I feel like the casual NBA fan will have no idea who any of these 5 players are. Aleksej Pokusevski, the rookie, he's pretty good. Isaiah Roby, nobody. Moses Brown, he played on the Blazers, didn't even get any minutes. Stotts didn't know how to use him. He's had some great games this year at the center. Theo Melendon, another rookie, and Shvi Mykhailiuk. And then off the bench, they had Darius Miller, Kenrich Williams, Justin Jackson, Tony Bradley, Ty Jerome. They had a bunch of people that had no business being in the game with us, and that's exactly what happened. I actually thought that this was a game we might lose simply because we wouldn't be ready for it. But as usual, we beat up on the bad teams, and we took care of business this time. Now, next game we played the LA Clippers, and to be honest, this was one of my most frustrating games to watch all season. No doubt about it. Simply because Lillard had a pretty bad game shooting, 2 for 14. That's bad, no way around it. But When the Clippers not only make their first 9 shots, but they score 47 points in the first quarter, and by the time the second quarter comes around, you find yourself down 26 points, you've already dug yourself too big of a hole to try to come out of. It's crazy because every single Blazer game feels like most of the time it's the same thing. Like, we were down 26 in the first half, that's fine. Never felt like we were completely out of the game just because of who we have on our team. We end up cutting the lead to 5, and then from that point on, whether it was bad subs or it was just a lack of, real energy after having to fight to come back from being down so much, it's hard to even come back from being down that much, but then to actually build a lead, you already used so much energy trying to come back. It's like, the real problem is fundamentally is that every single game we go in knowing what we're going to do every single game, no matter who we play against. And that does not work against the better teams in the NBA, flat out. Now, moving on to the very last game of this video against the Utah Jazz last night, right? The Jazz were coming off of a back-to-back. You're hoping you can get them a little tired, but it looked like Donovan Mitchell just hadn't played in a week and his legs were completely fresh. He had 37 points on 25 shots, shot 56%. And it's funny because if we're being honest, in the first half of this game, I would say that was probably the best half of defense we played all year. I mean, we played really great defense. Our rotations for the most part were really great. Bogdanovich didn't do anything. Mike Conley really didn't do anything. But it was really Donovan Mitchell that we just could not stop. It seemed like every time, we were building a little momentum, he hits a shot. Our defense as a whole isn't good at getting stops when we need to in the early parts in the game. Like when it's late in the fourth quarter and it's those final 5 minutes, sure, can we be ranked 9th in the NBA in defense? That's great. But the problem is, if we don't get to that point in the game and it's still close, then that stat means nothing. If we're down by so much going into the fourth quarter, then that stat means absolutely nothing. I also want to talk about something else that's been pissing me off lately, and that's just the lack of accountability on defense. Stotts doesn't want to yell at Dame. He doesn't want to yell at CJ. That's very obvious. But it's like, if you don't, then you're just showing A, that those players are above everybody else on the defensive end, and B, that you don't care. For example, Coach Stotts loves to sit there and yell at Jusuf Nurkic like it's his fault that our defense sucks, when it is very clearly on everybody else just as much as it's on him. It's not just these games either. Like, we won against the Mavericks in the first of a back-to-back game against them. 2 days later, we played them again. We lose by 48 points. Same team, nothing changed. It's just they have Rick Carlisle and we have Terry Stotts. And, it's something that, if you don't watch the games, you'll probably use it. You'll say that this is an excuse, calling it out on the coach. The players are out there missing shots. The players are out there not playing defense. And I understand what you mean, but all you got to do is watch one full Blazer game. You'll see the lack of plan, the lack of just idea of how you want to attack the game, their mismatches, their matchups. Like, there's just none of that, and it's very frustrating. It's frustrating wasting Dame's career like this. But hopefully, by the end of the season, Neil O'Shea will make the right decision and bring someone else new in and try to run it back next year. Because I'm going to be completely honest, I'm one of the biggest Blazer fans out there, but I do not have as much hope right now if we continue to play like we do to do anything in the playoffs. We don't even look like a second-round team right now. That's how bad our defense is. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.